Want to keep your farm financially healthy? Financial management skills are key. Coming up, I'm going to give you 3 tips for financial management. We're going to cover budgeting, cash flow, and general financial planning for your farm. These are all essential skills that any good business person and farming entrepreneur should have. Hi, I'm Jess, the Green Duchess. I help beginning farmers start and run profitable businesses. In my last video, I talked about effective communication and how to build that skill as a farmer. Today, we're going to talk about financial management and why it's so important for farming entrepreneurs and especially beginning farmers to build the financial management skills in their toolbox. First, let's start with the basics. Every business person needs to understand the fundamentals of accounting. That may sound intimidating and like you have no business learning accounting and you should just hire a professional. But it's really not that bad. Basic accounting just boils down to tracking your income and your expenses, and then keeping accurate records of those things. Record keeping is so important to a business. It allows you to analyze different aspects of your business, your different enterprises, your sales channels, and then make good, sound management decisions based on that information. So here's tip number 1, keep good records. And a shoebox full of receipts doesn't count. Having a whole bunch of receipts will help you tally up your totals for things at the end of the year when you have to do your taxes, but that's not going to help you make decisions in order to manage your farm better in the moment. That's why some kind of accounting system, whether that's software or just a spreadsheet, is really vitally important. I think just about everyone in the world has heard of QuickBooks at this point and knows that it's something business people use to track their financials. There are lots of online accounting softwares out there for you to choose from. Personally, I like using Zoho Books. I think that they offer the best value for the subscription fee. They're cheaper than QuickBooks. They have just as much functionality, if not more. And I'll have a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Ultimately, you need to just use whatever works for you, whether that's an accounting software or just Excel spreadsheets. Whatever you can be consistent with and constantly keep up with adding data to is what's going to be best for you. Whatever you use, you want to be able to categorize your transactions. So that would involve going through your bank account statements and your credit card bills and marking each transaction under some kind of category or subcategory. Categorizing your transactions this way allows you to drill down and really look at where all of your money is coming from and where it's going. You want to be able to monitor your expenses and your income based on your sales channels and definitely your enterprises. So if your farm has more than one enterprise, like say you have a market garden, but you also do broiler chickens, you want to be tracking the specific expenses and income for each one of those products individually so that you can look at how it contributes to your overall farm. Perhaps one is more expensive to produce than the other and one has a higher profit margin. That'll help you make decisions for your business going forward. Knowing the profitability of each enterprise will help you make decisions going forward. So here's an example for that hypothetical farm that has vegetables and chickens. Maybe one day you go to the farm store and you purchase feed for the chickens, oil for your tractor, and fencing supplies. Instead of just waiting until the end of the year and taking that total amount that you spent at the store and applying it to your overall losses for the farm, if you're individually itemizing and categorizing each transaction as you go along in the year, you'll be able to analyze whether your expenses for the tractor are maybe too high and it's getting too hard to maintain, and maybe you should invest in a newer model that's not going to cost you as much in repairs and maintenance. Or you might be able to see that the amount of feed that you're spending on your chickens does not get offset by the income that you make, either from the eggs or from selling meat. So you might want to reduce your numbers of chickens based on what you see in your feed costs. This is the reason you want to categorize all of your expenses, because you can apply the information to your decision making for the overall farm and its financial health. There's a saying, you cannot manage what you do not measure. And that really means that keeping accurate records leads to good decision making, and good decisions lead to healthy, profitable businesses. So that leads me to tip number 2. Creating a budget for your farm business. This is different from your accounting system. You want to use a spreadsheet to create your farm's budget. I have a link to an example budget that you can use. It's listed in the description below, and it'll take you to a Google Drive folder where you can just download and create a copy. Inside that copy, you can create all of your specific farm's information, put in all of your numbers. When creating a budget for your farm, you want to list all of your expected income for the year. That could be from your CSA, your farmers markets, or even grant money. Whatever money is coming into your business. If you've been operating for a while, you'll be able to take your actual numbers and plug them into your budget. But if you haven't started your business yet, we can use projections and estimations based on research that you do ahead of starting your business in order to create a budget for you. Next, you want to include all of your expenses. Everything you spend money on, everything you expect to spend money on over the year, and when that's going to happen. Those get deducted from your income, and then you see your profit. Remember to always budget some extra money for expenses. There's always going to be something unexpected that needs to be repaired, or vet bills, what have you. It's much better to overestimate expenses and underestimate income until you're really sure of how your business is going to perform over time. Remember that your budget is a living, flexible thing. It needs to constantly be updated in order to remain accurate and give you the information you need in order to make good decisions for your farm. So at the beginning of every year, it's great to do an expected budget, but then update it on a monthly or quarterly basis with your actual numbers. That way you can compare what you thought was going to happen to what actually happened and see if there are changes that need to be made. You might discover that you ended up short on cash sometimes, and that leads me to tip number 3, learn to manage your cash flow. Managing your cash flow well allows you to pay your bills on time. Cash flow management is one of the hardest things for every small business owner, especially seasonal businesses like farms. It can be extremely difficult to make sure that you always have enough money on hand. There are 3 key steps to managing cash flow well. First is keep accurate records. You need to know exactly what is going on in your business, when money is coming in and when it's going out. After keeping records for 6 to 12 months, you can go through that information and see where you have seasonal fluctuations. Then you can use that information in your budget and plan for slow periods. Understanding your business cash flow will help you plan for realistic and manageable growth. Your cash flow statement acts as a roadmap to your financial goals. To wrap up, financial planning might seem daunting for your farm, but with the right skills, it's entirely manageable. You don't have to hire a professional to do it all for you. Continuously learning and practicing these skills will help you. But if you truly lack confidence and need help in these areas, reach out to me for a free consultation. A well-managed farm not only survives, it thrives. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video about sales and marketing skills for your farm. Thank you, bye!